yogis. Welcome to the Soukhyam Yoga by Tanvi Patil YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at quick warm-ups that you can do if you're short on time, and some tips and tricks if you are working towards crow pose, Bakasana. So when we think about Bakasana, crow pose, we're talking about a couple of things. Your foundation is your hands, so spread your fingers, grip the surface, your mat or the ground, with the pads of your fingertips, right? So think about the birds perched on a branch of a tree. How do they perch on a surface, on a wall? And it's really gripping that. Next comes really engaging your serratus anterior, your shoulder, your scapula. And if you keep your elbows out, you really don't have anything holding you. So you really need to turn your elbows in, and if you touch to your side, you will notice that now you've engaged your obliques, your serratus anterior, your scapula, and there's more stabilization in your shoulders, right? So this is your foundation pose. And if to try that, I would recommend just come to seated, push your the base of your palms forward, spread your fingers, slight bend of your fingertips to grip the surface. Imagine a wall right in front of you, and then roll your shoulders in, your elbows in, and feel that engagement, right? So that's your shoulders, and my dog says hi to all of you. He is super curious. And then next we're talking about our core, our arm strength, our shoulder strength, and there is also hip flexor strength as we pull ourselves up into crow pose. So one of the great ways to visualize that is to really get onto your back. Bring your knees in and place your knees as up as possible, so above your elbows. Imagine you are doing your crow just the reverse way. Flex your toes. Push, imagine a wall right here. You're pushing against this imaginary wall. Press the base of your palms in, grip your finger into the surface or imaginary wall, and really find that connection between your back of your biceps and your knees. Push both into each other. Core is engaged. Pull your belly into your lower spine. And this is your crow pose on the back. So who said you couldn't do crow pose, right? You can do a crow pose. So next we'll look at using the blocks, right? So before we get started, I just wanted you to kind of feel the engagement without too much effort. Let's warm up our body. So we talked about our wrist, hands being the foundation, core, shoulder, and arms, and our hips as well. So let's look at a few quick warm-ups. So we can start with warming up our wrists. Extend your hands forward, really press through the base of your palm, close and open your fist. Take a few rounds, roll your wrist in one direction and then the other. Plant your wrist shoulder width apart, come into a tabletop. Shoulders in line with your wrist. Inhale, lift the base of your palm and lower. Continue to breathe. We have a tendency of holding breath. And take a few repetitions of these. You can also roll your shoulders in one direction and then the other, just to feel the weight of your shoulder up and over your wrist. And there are many other warm-ups, so you can take if you have a certain way of warming up your wrist. Next, let's warm up our shoulders. Roll your shoulders in one direction. And let's take it to the other side. And reverse. Next, we are going to warm up our core and our arms. So the best way, and my favorite, is plank pose, chaturanga, dolphin. All right, so let's come into plank pose. lower chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. And you can take a few more repetitions of this. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. The other variation, to really take this into your shoulders, you can lower into dolphin pose. Inhale here in dolphin. Now for chaturanga, you're really going to keep your elbows bent as you roll forward. Chaturanga. Inhale, down, flying pose. Exhale, downward facing pose. So once again, dolphin. Breathe in. Chaturanga. Plank. Downward facing dog. One more time. Dolphin. Chaturanga. Plank. And downward facing dog. And again, I'm just taking a few repetitions to keep this video short and engaging. But you can take as many as 10 and 20, especially as you're working on your arm strength. It's really important to work on these strength building exercises before you start taking, moving yourself into doing peak poses. Now, plank pose. If you're trying this for the first time, you can leave a bolster in front of you. If you're afraid to face plant, that definitely takes away the fear of face planting, and you can focus more on the alignment and the pose itself. You can also place a block in front of you and a block under your tippy toes, right? So that's one way. This will raise the floor for your feet. And this is for the support for your head. Plant your hands shoulder width apart. Once again, spread your fingers, grip the mat with your finger pads, scoop your elbows, shoulders in, engage your scapula. Press your knee behind anywhere above your elbows. No pressure on any joints, right? You can go all the way into your armpits. You're going to keep shifting forward. Lift your hips. Really trying to get your center of gravity forward here. Gaze is forward. And then maybe one day your one foot will float off. And then the other. And if both floats off, ta-da! You are in crow pose. Gaze. Keep looking forward. You look down, you go down. Breathe in here, stay for a few rounds, and go back. If you're really trying to build a strength and haven't been able to take your feet up yet, then I highly recommend that you lower your head just for a little support. Just see what it feels like. Keep your toes hovering over the block and really shift your hips over your shoulders. This just gives you a great way to practice transition into tripod headstand from crow, or the other way around, from crow into tripod headstand. All right, so let's try crow without the blocks under your feet, but this time we're going to use the blocks under your hands, right? So what does this do? This really allows us to pick the floor up, bring it up for us, and so it feels safe. It also changes the grip of your hands a little bit, and there is more, it feels more secured here. So try it with the block. If you haven't yet, inhale, scoop your arms in. Walk your feet as close as possible behind your arms. Bend your knees, shift your hips back like you're sitting in a chair. And when you find that contact on your triceps and knees, you lean forward. Maybe pick one foot, pick the other foot, keep gazing forward. You're really pulling your core in so that you can lift your hips up. The more you lift up, eventually you'll be able to jump back into chaturanga and build this into your daily practice of vinyasa flow. Breathe in here and come back. So this is something you can do on the mat with the blocks. Next thing you can actually do is use a wall. If you have a wall, which hopefully most of us do, that is available, I highly recommend using it. If you don't have blocks, you can use books. Just make sure they are of the same height so you're not misaligned in your shoulders. So we'll continue to use the blocks under your hands, right? So once again, find that distance, which is shoulder width apart. Spread your palms, grip the block, scoop your elbows in, and your feet is almost touching the wall, right? So the soles of your feet is touching the wall right there. And then forward. Now you can lift one toes and place it on the wall, and then the other toes. And this will provide support while still allowing you to get into the crow pose. The farther you are from the wall, the less contact or surface contact you have with your feet. So get closer to the wall. You can even put your soles of your feet flat on the wall, and that's going to give you more support in the crow pose. And these are different variations that you can take as you're building up your practice. And when you're ready, then take your full variation of crow pose, which you can really come from down dog, or you can just come into forward fold, walk your feet. Keep them hip distance wide. Bring your knees into your armpits or anywhere up your triceps. Lean forward. And as soon as your feet picks up from the floor, squeeze your heels into the glute so that your weight is still forward. If you lower your toes, your weight is going to shift back, right? So it's really important to lift and squeeze your heels into your buttocks to keep that balance over your arms and shoulders. So with that, that was a quick tutorial on crow pose. Let me know how you think it was. And if you have any suggestions or feedback, I'm happy to take them. Until next time, Namaste.